It is possible to get free hotel rooms on an annual basis simply by doing a little bit of planning and knowing what specific credit cards are going to be in your wallet to get those free nights. So today I'm going to share with you how you can get free hotel rooms using credit card rewards and points. You're not going to want to miss this. So you heard right. There is a strategy using credit card points and rewards that I have been using for years. My family often will stay for free in a specific hotel or a hotel chain, and this can be upwards of 1, 2, sometimes even a full week worth of hotel stays. If you are new to the channel, I often talk about credit card points and rewards and the strategies that you can utilize to, number one, just take care of your everyday spending, but number two, remembering to also pay those credit cards off in full every single month. And then as a result, you can do things like get free hotel rooms or travel the world and see all these places that you have on your bucket list, essentially for free using these points and rewards. Now, real quick, before we dive into the inner workings of these hotel rooms for free, be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. It's going to help spread the word on YouTube. I really appreciate it, so thanks. So many of you might be saying to yourself, of course, co-branded hotel credit cards can help get me, a free night. But I don't always like putting my spend on those cards. Well, I'm not talking about just co-branded credit cards. For example, like Marriott, the Hyatt, Hilton, they all have credit cards. And when you spend on those cards, you earn those specific hotel brand points. But what I wanted to dive deep into today is transferring points like American Express points or Chase points to redeem for multiple free nights. You see, often these cashback style cards, if you play the game right, have transferable travel partners. And oftentimes it's a handful of airlines, but also a handful of hotel brands as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this specific example. My friend Dave, who wrote a blog post that is on my website, so please go and check it out after watching this. He and his family were looking to plan a place to go right around Halloween, maybe that Columbus Day weekend, for example. And what came to mind for him was Salem, Massachusetts. You see, that Columbus Day weekend with Monday off is often like a last hurrah for families before like the cold weather sets in. So oftentimes Salem, Massachusetts, the Salem witch trials, that whole month of October, these hotel rooms are kind of hard to come by. However, Dave is not new to this credit card game, and he found availability at a Hilton hotel, one that had free breakfast. Shout out to free breakfast for the kids. And he knew that being right in downtown Salem was going to be a perfect, but he needed something like 150,000 Hilton points. And at the time of planning this trip, he had 0 Hilton points. You see, Dave is usually like a Marriott or IHG kind of guy. And this specific Hilton hotel was going for over $500 per night. So of course, to state the obvious, his thoughts went to maybe opening up a co-branded Hilton credit card. Hilton actually has 3 different cards, and they all have welcome or sometimes called sign-up bonuses. So he could open a new card and maybe get enough points, but you got to understand, when you find like a really good deal or you find availability in a like a hot touristy area, you need to sort of jump on the deal. And sometimes it can take like a month or two for those welcome offers or those sign-up bonuses for all those points to post. So this is where the hero of the story comes into play, American Express membership reward points. You see, these points that you can accumulate on all of their sort of cashback style cards, they're transferable to a hotel brand like Hilton. So if you've been banking those points on a card that I like to talk about a lot, the Blue Business Plus card or the American Express like Everyday card, see, you can just be using these and saving them for when and if you need to take those points and transfer them to your Hilton account. And usually these transfers only take like a couple minutes. Sometimes they're like instantaneous. You see, but the real beauty of American Express here is that they sometimes offer a transfer bonus. So for example, at the time of this recording, you could transfer 1,000 points, American Express membership reward points, and that would be equal to 2,800 Hilton points. So I don't have a calculator in front of me, but that's something like a 40% transfer bonus. So now somebody like Dave, who needed 150,000 Hilton points, only needs 54,000 American Express points to transfer to Hilton to be able to book this stay. So this is a clear win for Dave, and I just wanted to share that story with you because the stories and redemptions like that, they happen all the time. You know, whether you're trying to travel to the East Coast or the West Coast, typically if you can get more than 2 cents per point, you're doing pretty well. If you are traveling like internationally, that's where you can even do better. I'm not going to get into that today in this video, but sometimes those hotel chains, they don't see internationally a lot of people who have this like elevated status or who are using points, so they'll treat you even better than here in the States. Now let's keep moving forward here because I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the fact that there's kind of like 3 types of hotel cards. So you want to make sure you're getting one that you can actually end up using. So the first obvious one are going to be the types of cards that give you like an anniversary night for free. Typically, whether it's Chase or American Express, you're going to end up getting a certificate worth a certain amount of points. And it's good for one free night, but then you can book, additional nights using points or cash. And so that's very enticing, especially if you are ever traveling, like you have an early morning flight, you want to be by the airport, or let's say you're booking a cruise and you want to go the night before so you don't miss the ship. So I love those cards. Typically, there's always an annual fee, but the redemption night that you can get almost always outweighs that fee. Just to name a few brands that give you that anniversary night, Hyatt has a card, Marriott has a couple cards, IHG, and Hilton. Now, there is another category where if you spend a certain amount on the card throughout the calendar year, they'll give you that bonus night. Typically, I don't usually aim for those because sometimes they could be as much as like 5,000 or 15,000, but I at least wanted you to be aware that you could get those additional nights if you hit those spending thresholds. And then again, there's the third kind of card that's going to give you bonus points, like anniversary bonus points. Every single year you pay the annual fee. My wife and I have found like a little sweet spot with a Wyndham card. There's not very many Wyndhams by us, but there's this little lake and some wineries that we like to go to for our anniversary. So it's really cool to have a card where we put like our gas for the car on that throughout the year, pay the annual fee, and then we know we can have this wonderful anniversary wine tasting weekend for free simply by using those anniversary points and then the points you get for spending on the card. And one more thing to keep in mind is hotel brand loyalty. I'll give you for example, if you really like Hilton, sometimes those rooms can be just a ton of points. Then again, if you love value, the Hyatt seems to just have like some of the best redemption rates, and I'm really liking them lately. However, whenever I'm booking a trip, I got to see how close the Hyatts are to where we want to be. Sometimes, like in downtown Austin, Texas, there's going to be Hyatts right around everything. But if you go to a smaller city like Birmingham, Alabama, the Hyatts are going to be a little bit more spread out. So now you got to start thinking rental car, or is it even worth it to book that brand? Also, keep in mind if you're traveling with just friends or if you've got kids. For example, Hilton, Marriott, they have these like suite style rooms that would be great for a family. You've got the bed, the pull-out couch, the kitchen. They even sometimes have like a free like happy hour with food and drinks if you're going during the week. So that's something that you could specifically plan on and seek out. Then again, some people just love getting like a free breakfast. They see that pancake machine at the IHG properties and they just think that's the coolest thing. So if that's what you're all about, you might want to be thinking about getting one of those IHG cards. A couple of key takeaways. Getting free hotel rooms is very possible, especially on an annual basis. Many people travel during the same times of year every single year, whether it goes back to something like that Columbus weekend where the kids are off from school and people like to get away before the cold weather, Or if you always like to take that like week-long trip in August or late summer, you know when you typically are going to have time off or when you can get time off. So it's a really good idea to try to utilize these co-branded cards in addition to the cash back cards that give you the travel partners, like I mentioned earlier in this video. I gotta be honest with you personally that I'm almost at my limit for having some of these cards, because with the free anniversary nights, you do have to use them or you lose them. So with the shutdown and everything, I have a few that we have to purposefully like seek out to go and use. And specifically, I'm gonna have to make sure we're using up our Marriott ones, and we have so many IHG points. We need to book like a stay, maybe somewhere that has a really nice property that we could like bring the kids to. Now, don't forget, there is going to be an annual fee on most of these cards, but if you take advantage of those anniversary nights, then it's going to be well worth it. It's not something that I really stress about, because I know that whether we're traveling, like I said, like the night before a big trip, or whether we want to go stay with family and friends and don't want to be sleeping on somebody's couch, we can take advantage of some of these points, and it really is valuable, and it's just a game changer. Of course, like I mentioned before, the value and the points and the anniversary bonus nights, it's not worth it if you're not paying off the credit cards in full. But I will mention that if you do pay off the credit cards in full, then this is something that I recommend everybody look into. And one more thing, I did a video recently on targeted offers, specifically from Chase, but American Express has some too. I'll leave a link to that video right here. When you are targeted for these offers, sometimes you just go to this simple site and you type in like the hotel card, and all of a sudden they're going to give you bonus points for spending on categories like groceries or gas. So don't think that these cards are just kind of like get the sign up bonus and pay the annual fee and forget about them. Sometimes you can kind of really earn a ton of extra points just by taking advantage of those targeted offers. Of course, as always, I'll leave a link down below in the description for all these cards and for that blog article. Shout out to Dave for inspiration for this video. Thanks a lot, Dave. And don't forget to check out my website. It's full of a ton of blog articles and podcasts. So I really appreciate everybody that goes over there and takes a peek around. Also, one more thing, I mentioned it at the start of the video. If you haven't already, please drop a like down below for this video. It just really helps spread the word. People who love talking credit cards and travel rewards and points, they just love new content like this. So I really appreciate it. Again, thanks. All right, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.